I sent a message to my beautiful boss. Are you free this Sunday? The female boss replied. You scoundrel. She replied again. You want it this week? Then I'll come to your place now. After graduating college, my girlfriend Jenny and I joined the same company. She quickly cheated on me. The guy she cheated with was her department manager, Mark. I was furious and went to have a big fight with Jenny. Jenny just coldly smiled at me and said, Jake, don't make a fuss. We're not kids anymore. Mark is only a few years older than you, but he's already a department manager. Will you ever become a manager in your lifetime? Do you expect me, Jenny, to suffer hardships with you? To be honest, I wanted to quit at the time. I didn't want to work in the same company as this horrible woman. But reality made me calm down. It's not easy to find a job now. I really needed this resume, this work experience. I couldn't let some awful woman ruin my life. So I adjusted my mindset and prepared to approach daily work with a positive attitude. I wanted to achieve something, to make that horrible woman regret it. Just a little manager, and she thinks I can't even dream of it in my whole life. How dare she define my life? But after all, I had been cheated on. Such a great humiliation inevitably made me feel depressed. It happened to be the weekend, so I decided to go hiking. I think all men should go hiking. Standing on the heights and looking into the distance can refresh one's mind and sweep away all the unpleasant feelings. Early in the morning, when I went up the mountain, I met a beautiful woman, fair-skinned and gorgeous, with curves in all the right places and an impressive aura. But what made me want to laugh was that this beauty clearly had no experience hiking. She was actually wearing a floral maxi dress. After encountering each other on the mountain path, we politely nodded and smiled at each other. Then we set off towards the summit along two separate branching paths. When I reached the top, it was just at sunrise. Golden sunlight poured down, and the whole city's prosperity was laid out before my eyes. My gloomy mood instantly disappeared, replaced by a surge of passion. Ah! I shouted like an idiot towards the city below, expressing all kinds of emotions in my heart. Just as my shout faded away, I heard another cry. Ah! A woman's voice. And the voice was full of terror. I suddenly thought of the beautiful woman in the floral dress I had seen on the way up. Oh no, could she be in danger? So I went to look in the direction of the sound. Sure enough, she was in danger. As she was going up the mountain, her foot slipped and she rolled towards the slope beside the path. Luckily, she was stopped by the bushes on the slope. But in the process of rolling down, the branches of the bushes had also torn her long dress. When I found her, she was lying there pale-faced. Her jade-like fair legs were covered in blood. When she saw me running over, her eyes looked panicked and her face turned bright red. I tried not to look at her and said with my back turned, Don't be afraid. I just want to help you. Then I started taking off my clothes. Her voice was full of fear. What are you taking your clothes off for? Don't do anything rash. Help! I frowned and handed her my jacket that I had taken off. Use this to tie around your lower body. It can cover you up a bit. She was stunned and said with some guilt, Thank you. I misunderstood you. She wrapped my jacket around her front, tying the two sleeves around her waist. From the front, it at least covered up the exposed parts of her lower body. Since she had sprained her ankle and couldn't walk, we started making phone calls to try to get help. But unfortunately, there was no signal on the mountain. How about I carry you down the mountain? I suggested. This? She hesitated. Is that appropriate? I shrugged. I don't mind, it's up to you. Or you can wait here, and I'll go down the mountain to find a place with signal and get someone to come rescue you. But I heard there are wild boars on this mountain. I wasn't trying to scare her on purpose. Although I had never seen one, there really were rumors of wild boars on this mountain. Obviously, she was scared. She had no choice but to nod with a bright red face and softly say, Then please carry me down the mountain. Before carrying her down the mountain, I needed to treat her wounds first. Although they weren't life-threatening, the wounds were indeed still bleeding. As an experienced hiker, carrying some first aid supplies was a must. I took out some iodine, gauze, and band-aids from my backpack. Pull up your clothes a bit. I'll bandage you up. Her face was bright red as she lifted up the jacket wrapped around her legs. I used cotton swabs dipped in iodine to clean the wounds, then started bandaging her up. During this process, my palms inevitably touched the skin of her thighs. I swear, I didn't make any other unnecessary movements at the time. But why did she start breathing rapidly with even her ears turning red. Oh man, could her thighs be your sensitive spot? My thoughts started to get jumbled too. Come on, sis. You're making this really hard for me. Amidst her increasingly heavy breathing, I finally finished bandaging her legs. Now I needed to deal with the wounds on her back. This was even more awkward for me. There are some thorns in your back if we don't remove them. Just do what you need to, she said suddenly, lowering her head. I moved behind her. I'm going to start now. It will hurt a bit. Try to bear with it. She nodded. To be honest, if I said I had no thoughts in my mind at that moment, that would be a lie. Her smooth jade-like back was a fatal temptation for any man. I took a deep breath, trying not to think about those messy thoughts. Removing thorns, disinfecting, bandaging, I did it all in one go. After everything was done, we both let out long sighs of relief. By now, we were both drenched in sweat. Her face was so red it felt like it was burning. This was torture. Such a simple thing, yet it felt like we had gone through intense exercise. When I carried her down the mountain, her chest bounced against my back, making it hard for me to concentrate. For a moment, the atmosphere was both ambiguous and awkward. Are you tired? Do you want to rest for a bit? She said softly in my ear. I shook my head. It's fine. I could carry you up the mountain, let alone down. I wasn't exaggerating. Having just graduated college, I was at my physical peak. And I wasn't some weak bookworm either. On the contrary, I loved working out and was in great shape. Now, even though I had given her my jacket, my exposed muscular chest didn't feel cold at all in the morning breeze. After I said I wasn't tired, the atmosphere became awkward again. To ease the awkwardness, I chatted with her casually to avoid letting my mind wander. During our conversation, she learned that my name was Jake, and I learned that her name was Evelyn. I asked her why she wore a dress to hike. She said hiking wasn't planned at all. She was feeling down and drove aimlessly to the foot of the mountain, deciding to hike on a whim. I asked her why she was feeling down. She said she didn't want to work. She wanted to study art abroad, but her family was forcing her to work. I smiled. Life often doesn't go as we wish. For young people, starting work early can indeed reduce the financial pressure on parents. I thought her parents must be helpless too. That's why they don't support her dream. After all, words like studying abroad and art each requires a lot of money to support. These words have nothing to do with ordinary people. When we got to the parking lot at the bottom of the mountain, I realized I had been too hasty. My perspective was too narrow. I was shallow, because a Porsche sports car that almost blinded me was quietly parked there waiting for her. Thank you for carrying me down. Could you help me one more time? She couldn't drive with just my jacket wrapped around her lower body. Could you drive me home? She asked embarrassedly. Of course, no problem. Help someone, help them all the way. Take the Buddha to the west. I sat in the driver's seat. Get in. She carefully lifted her leg and sat in the passenger seat. I should warn you, my driving skills aren't great. After graduating college, although I got my license, I had never actually driven a car. My only driving experience was from that old jalopy at driving school. Driving such a nice car for the first time made me a bit nervous. She saw my unease and smiled. Don't worry, just drive. I won't blame you even if you scratch it. I smiled. Although she said that, I was still extra careful. The whole way, I gripped the steering wheel tightly, driving cautiously. I managed to drive the sports car at the speed of a bicycle. Seeing how serious I was, she looked like she wanted to laugh and started giving me instructions from the side. Sure enough, with her guidance, my driving skills improved noticeably. Just as I was feeling proud and starting to speed up, a small dog suddenly darted out in front. I was scared and jerked the steering wheel to the left. The huge inertia threw Evelyn's body directly towards me. When I stepped on the brakes and stopped, Evelyn's head was buried in my lap. The atmosphere was extremely awkward. Folks, it really wasn't my fault. Who told her not to wear a seatbelt? 2 seconds later, Evelyn lifted her head with a bright red face. It's fine, you drove well. Your reaction was quick, the emergency avoidance was successful. I went back to being extra careful. Finally, following her directions, I drove the car to a villa district. I parked the car in front of a villa surrounded by bamboo. After getting out of the car, Evelyn politely invited me. Want to come in and sit for a bit? I shook my head and smiled in refusal. I was still shirtless. It would be too inappropriate to go in. Besides, she was the child of rich people. Rich families have a lot of rules I would feel uncomfortable going in. I was very clear about my status. Evelyn and I just happened to meet. I just helped her out. There was no need to get too involved. Then wait here for me. She opened the villa door and went inside. Not long after, when she came out again, she had changed into a pretty long dress and was holding my jacket. She said to me a bit embarrassedly, "Here's your jacket back, but I wrapped it around me. How about this? I'll buy you a new one." I smiled and shook my head. No need. To be honest, I couldn't wait to get back the jacket she had wrapped around herself. When we were coming down the mountain earlier, I had an evil thought in my mind. I wanted to take this jacket back and sniff it hard in front of my nose. But as soon as that thought popped up, I cursed myself in my heart. Beast! Pervert! How could I have such a filthy idea? After a round of self-reproach, I forgave myself. Evelyn was too beautiful. In that situation of such intimate skin contact with her, any man would have some naughty thoughts. It didn't mean I was a pervert. Seeing me refuse, Evelyn didn't insist. After getting my jacket back, I said goodbye to her and prepared to go home and take a shower. The physical exertion and inner turmoil of carrying her down the mountain had left me drenched in sweat. As I was walking out of the villa district, I turned my head to look back one last time. This woman I had helped was just a passerby in my life. An ordinary person like me wouldn't have any more interactions with her. On Monday, I came to work at the company. While I was busy at my desk, the CEO's secretary randomly picked me. "Jake, since you look so strong, come help me take this stack of documents to the conference room." Sure. I knew there was a very important meeting going on in the conference room. I heard the old CEO was retiring, and the new CEO would be decided at today's meeting. I was carrying the thick stack of documents and had just arrived at the conference room door when I ran into Jenny. She reached out to stop me. "Jake, don't you know there's an important meeting going on inside? This is not a place for you." I smiled coldly. "You're really meddlesome. Can't you see I'm here to deliver documents?" She looked at me with disdain. "Oh, so you're just running errands to deliver documents. Then go on in." A wave of anger rose in my heart. This horrible woman had just climbed up the ladder and was already looking down on people. When I was with her before, I really didn't realize she was this kind of person. I replied irritably, Yes, I'm just running errands. How could I compare to you?" She laughed. "You certainly can't compare to me. Mark isn't there having a meeting. He specially arranged for me to be in charge of pouring water for the bigwigs inside." I almost laughed in anger. So that's what it was all about. I thought she was so amazing, but it turns out she's just a water girl. I really don't understand. We're all just workers. How can she, a mere water girl, look down on me for running errands? Seeing my face full of mocking laughter, she immediately yelled angrily, "What? You look down on me? Let me tell you, this water-pouring job, so many people want it but can't get it." Yes. I nodded in agreement. "Pour water for the bigwigs today, become a big shot tomorrow." "That's right." She looked very smug. I couldn't be bothered with her anymore and gently knocked on the conference room door. After hearing come in, I walked in carrying the documents. As soon as I entered, I paused for a moment because I saw a familiar figure. Evelyn. She was also surprised to see me. Her face turned red as she nodded slightly at me. I was curious in my heart. Does she also work at this company? And she could actually attend this meeting, which meant she wasn't an ordinary employee, but part of the company's management. I suddenly realized that the old CEO's surname was also Chun, and Evelyn was sitting in the first seat to the left of the old CEO. Could she have some relation to the old CEO? The old CEO was approachable and didn't put on any airs of a leader. Seeing me carrying the thick stack of documents, he smiled at me and said, "Thank you, young man." I snapped out of my thoughts. "You're welcome, Mr. Chun. Where should I put the documents? Since you brought them over, please do me another favor and hand out the documents to everyone here, one for each person." "Certainly." I started handing out the documents. At the same time, the meeting continued. I heard the old CEO say, "I have decided to take a step back. Although I will still be the chairman of the board, the position of CEO will be taken by my daughter Evelyn. From now on, all matters big and small in the company will be decided by her." As soon as he finished speaking, applause erupted in the room. Especially Jenny's lover, the HR manager Mark, who was clapping the most enthusiastically. He was waving his two hands in an exaggerated manner, as if afraid the CEO couldn't see. I was a bit surprised in my heart. Evelyn really did have a connection to Mr. Chin. She was actually his daughter. I never expected that this woman I had helped just 2 days ago would become my boss today. After the documents are handed out, everyone take a look. These are some arrangements I've made for the company before my retirement. The old CEO finished speaking and looked lovingly at Evelyn. Evelyn has never been involved in the company's business before. I hope everyone can help her a lot and not let down my trust in all of you. At this point, Mark had already stood up to show loyalty to the new boss. He hadn't even looked at the documents yet because I hadn't handed them to him yet. Miss Evelyn, I'm Mark, the company's HR manager. I've long heard that you are peerlessly beautiful. Seeing you today, indeed. Before he could finish his flattery, I came over with the documents and accidentally bumped into him, almost knocking him over. He stumbled to steady himself and cursed at me. You son of a bitch, are you blind? Do you not want this job anymore? It was an accident, I replied calmly. The stack of documents was so high it blocked my vision. I think you did it on purpose, he yelled angrily. Get out of here now. Yes, I did do it on purpose. I was angry just looking at this adulterer. What's wrong with bumping into him? At this moment, Evelyn suddenly stood up and said, Jake didn't do it on purpose. Why are you speaking to him so rudely? Mark was stunned, looking a bit flustered. He must be panicking about leaving a bad impression in front of the new CEO, and he couldn't figure out how Evelyn knew my name. After all, Evelyn had never been to the company before. The old CEO also spoke up. As part of the company's management, your mindset determines the company's mindset. I hope you all have a broad and generous heart. Although he didn't name names directly, the old CEO looked at Mark pointedly after speaking. Mark instantly broke out in a cold sweat. I'm sorry, Mr. Chun. I was wrong. I just got worked up for a moment. Let's continue the meeting. The old CEO waved his hand, cutting off Mark's explanation. Seeing Mark get put in his place, I felt very satisfied. After giving Evelyn a grateful look, I finished handing out the documents and left the conference room. At the door, Jenny was still mocking me coldly. Finished delivering the documents? Hurry up and leave then. This isn't a place for you to stay. Then I won't disturb you from being a watchdog. Remember to go in and add water. Be careful not to lose your job if you don't serve them well. I smiled and said. Jenny was furious, but afraid to blow up, fearing those inside would hear. She glared at me fiercely. I laughed and quickly walked away. Actually, I was very puzzled. She was the one who cheated, so why did she still have this attitude towards me? Even worse than towards a regular stranger. After thinking it over, I understood. She cheated on me and found a lover, so she had to prove that her lover was better than me in every way. That way, her cheating on me would seem reasonable and justified. If I was better than her lover, wouldn't she look like a clown? So she would do everything possible to prevent me from succeeding in the company. In the morning, as I was passing by the CEO's office, I heard the old CEO's happy voice from inside. Evelyn, before going into the conference room today, you were still making a fuss, saying you didn't want to take the CEO position no matter what. How come you suddenly changed your mind after the meeting? Aren't you happy that I changed my mind? Haven't you always hoped I would take over for you? Happy, of course I'm happy. Evelyn, it's not that Dad didn't want to send you abroad to study art. Dad's not young anymore and only had you late in life. I just can't bear for you to be so far away from me. Can you understand, Dad? I understand. If I didn't understand, I wouldn't be taking this CEO position. Old Mr. Chin laughed heartily. Don't try to fool me. You're willingly taking the CEO position. There must be another reason. Tell me, did you set your sights on someone in the company? You guess. I guess there definitely is. Our company has many talented young people. Whoever caught your eye must not be ordinary. Is it the HR manager, Mark? He has good qualifications, decent workability, and doesn't look bad. Evelyn snorted. TCH, I wouldn't be interested in him. That guy's eyes are full of craftiness. He's not a good person. Then who is it? Dad, what do you think of Jake? Jake? Which Jake? The one who came to deliver documents in the conference room today. Oh, that young man? He looks pretty fit and sturdy and quite handsome too. But I haven't had much interaction with him. How come? Do you know him? You could say I know him. Old Mr. Chung got interested. Then tell me about him. How are his abilities? I don't know. You don't know? That's right. But I can guarantee he's a good person. Old Mr. Chin laughed heartily. In a company, just being a good person isn't enough. Workability is the most important thing. I don't agree with that. I think character is the most important. As for workability, that can be cultivated slowly. Evelyn, I think there's something off about you. You haven't fallen for him, have you? Evelyn said coquettishly. What if I have? What are you going to do about it? The old CEO's voice became more serious. I've said before, when it comes to finding you a husband in the future, we won't look at the other party's family background. Anyway, we already have more money than we can spend. But this person must have ability to be able to safeguard our family's wealth. If he's capable, I don't have any objections. It depends on him. I think he should be capable. Even if he's not, I can train him to be. Evelyn said firmly. All right, you decide how to train him. After all, you're the CEO now. You're in charge. Daddy, you're the best. Evelyn started acting coquettish again. You're the best daddy in the world. Old Mr. Chin was delighted by his precious daughter's sweet talk. Haha, but I'm very curious. How did you two meet? You'd never been to the company before, right? Oh, I'll tell you all about it when we get home tonight. I stood stunned at the door as I listened. What's going on? Evelyn has fallen for me? Thinking about it carefully, I felt it was impossible. She was just grateful to me for carrying her down the mountain, and that feeling of gratitude hadn't faded yet. When enough time passed and that gratitude faded, naturally she wouldn't be like this anymore. After all, Evelyn and I were from two different worlds. It was impossible. I should just focus on throwing myself into work and becoming stronger. After the old CEO left the company, Evelyn officially took over. While I was busy at my desk in the sales department, the department manager came running over. He said to me with a big smile, Jake, I just got a notice, effective immediately. You're promoted to deputy manager of the sales department, to be my right-hand man. After saying that, he specially emphasized, actually, I've always thought highly of you. Between us brothers, forget about deputy or whatever, let's just discuss things together. I was completely bewildered. Deputy manager? I had just joined the company not long ago and hadn't achieved much yet. How did I become deputy manager? Are you sure there hasn't been some mistake? How could I possibly? Absolutely no mistake. The manager smiled. The notice bypassed HR and came directly from the CEO's office. Jake, I had no idea you had such a good relationship with the new CEO. You got to look out for your big brother in the future. Ah, sure. I replied with a dazed expression. After the manager left, I thought about it and came to terms with it. It seems Evelyn promoted me to deputy manager as a way to repay me. It did help me out. This provided a very good start for me to display my talents and ambitions in the company. After thinking it over, I decided to go to the CEO's office to thank her. Just as I got to the CEO's office door, I heard Mark's voice coming from inside. CEO Chen, why wasn't Jake's appointment processed through our HR department? This doesn't follow the rules and procedures. Evelyn replied coolly. What rules? Manager Lee, are you trying to teach me how to do things? I wouldn't dare. I was just curious if you know Jake, so I came to ask. Curiosity isn't a good thing. Curiosity kills the cat. Evelyn said imperiously. Manager Lee, just focus on doing your own job well. Don't pry into matters that aren't your business. Standing at the door, I thought to myself, wow. I didn't realize Evelyn had such an imposing side. Come to think of it, growing up by the old CEO's side, she really was a tiger father's daughter. Although the old CEO was approachable, he was definitely no pushover when it came to handling matters. When he needed to be forceful, his aura would naturally show. Evelyn was the same. Although when I carried her down the mountain, she was just a delicate woman. Now sitting in this position, she had transformed into a domineering female. So, Mark was clearly intimidated by Evelyn's warning and stood there at a loss for what to do. Is there anything else? If not, go to your work, Evelyn said coolly. By rights, Mark should have left tactfully at this point. But he just had to cause trouble. CEO Chun, to celebrate your appointment as CEO, I've booked a candlelit dinner at the best restaurant in the city. Would you honor me with your presence? I was shocked at the door. Candlelit dinner? Come on, your intention of hitting on Evelyn is way too obvious. Sure enough, Evelyn coldly replied. Thank you for the thought, but I don't think a candlelit dinner is appropriate. That's a place for lovers to sit together. Seeing the topic opened up, Mark took the opportunity to hint at Evelyn. CEO Chun, I really didn't mean it that way. But who knows what might happen in the future. To be honest, as soon as I saw you, I fell for you. I simply can't help myself. How dare you? Evelyn slammed the table. Who gave you permission to fall for me? Get out. Just then I knocked on the door. CEO Chan, may I come in? As soon as Evelyn saw me, her eyes instantly softened. But soon after, she glared fiercely at Mark again. Get out. Don't make me say it twice. If your words today cause any misunderstanding for Jake, you can go to finance to collect your final paycheck. Mark was completely dumbfounded and looked at me with a very complicated expression. Hey, why are you looking at me? I'm confused too. What do you mean by me misunderstanding? After Mark left, I explained why I had come. CEO Chun, thank you for promoting me to deputy manager. But I know it's because of what happened that day on the mountain. Don't worry, I'll work hard. If I don't produce results, you can demote me again. Evelyn didn't acknowledge what I said, but instead smiled and asked me, Jake, what do you like to do in your free time? Hiking, traveling, writing. Basically just doing what I love. Evelyn's face turned red. Doing what you love? I realized what I'd said and couldn't help but laugh. CEO Chun, don't misunderstand. I didn't mean it that way. She asked me again, what's your favorite food? Lots of things, but I like barbecue the most. Oh. Evelyn seemed lost in thought. The next day, close to noon, a strong aroma of barbecue suddenly wafted through the company. Under everyone's watchful eyes, Evelyn came carrying a large bag. Jake, this is Wagyu beef that was just flown in this morning. I had our chef at home grill it. Want to try how it tastes? When people in the office heard this, they instantly went wild. Everyone started whispering. Wow, CEO, Chun is bringing Jake barbecue. What's going on? Is she trying to make us jealous? I was also a bit surprised. CEO Chun, I may not have eaten it before, but I know Wagyu beef is quite expensive. Don't worry about whether it's expensive or not. Just eat it. Evelyn smiled slightly. You can consider it my way of thanking you. Thinking about it, that made sense. Let's just consider it her thanking me for carrying her down the mountain. Although I had already been promoted to deputy manager, eating some Wagyu barbecue on top of that wasn't too much. Besides, if I didn't eat it, she'd just keep insisting and make me feel awkward. Thank you, I'll gladly accept then. After seeing me accept it, Evelyn left satisfied. I invited everyone in the sales department to enjoy it together, and they were thrilled. I thought that would be the end of it. But on the third day, Evelyn came again carrying a bag. Jake, come eat some barbecue. Oh? I was a bit bewildered. Why are you doing this again? Evelyn smiled gently. No reason, just because I want you to eat it. No way, this meat isn't cheap. I can't eat it. You must eat it. If you don't eat it, I'll fire you. Evelyn put the bag on the table. I frowned. After becoming a domineering CEO, are they all this unreasonable? Fine, I'll eat it. After her gratitude towards me passes, she probably won't do this anymore. But I was overthinking it. From then on, Evelyn came to bring me barbecue every day. I went from initially resisting to gradually becoming numb to it. If she brings it, I'll eat it. Should I wait to be fired if I don't eat? On Friday, I was late. I couldn't help it. My bicycle chain came off halfway. Evelyn intercepted me at the company entrance. So, Chun, I didn't mean to be late. My bike had a problem. Evelyn asked, what kind of bike do you use? I proudly puffed out my chest. A shared bike. Evelyn laughed. No wonder you're late, riding a shared bike. Then she took out a Mercedes car key. I'm giving you a car. This weekend, practice your driving skills with this car. I can't accept this. I waved my hands repeatedly. It's too expensive. Evelyn shoved the key into my hand. If you don't accept it, I'll fire you. You being late is damaging the company's interests. Every minute you're late is a minute you're not working. Don't underestimate these few minutes. Over months and years, is it still just a matter of a few minutes? Her reasoning was so sound that I was left speechless. A colleague nearby came over smiling and said, CEO Chun, I also ride a shared bike. I'm also afraid of being late. I also don't want to damage the company's interests. Get lost. Evelyn laughed and scolded. Looking at the car key in my hand, my mind was in turmoil. Evelyn said that day she had fallen for me. Could it be true? Otherwise, there was no way to explain why she was being so nice to me. Or am I overthinking it? Although these things are quite valuable, in the eyes of a rich second-generation CEO, they don't mean much. Oh well, forget it. Anyway, if she wants to do this, just let her for now. When her novelty towards me wears off, I'll return all these things to her. The news of Evelyn giving me a car spread quickly through the company. Everyone was secretly discussing whether the CEO and I were a couple. Some gossip-loving female colleagues even claimed to have inside information, swearing that the CEO and I were going on a date. I was helpless. What date? I didn't even know we were going on a date. Please, Evelyn and I are not from the same world. What I need to do is become stronger myself. For a man, relying on yourself is better than relying on others. Expecting a fairy tale with a rich second-generation female CEO is not realistic. But these rumors still aroused a lot of jealousy. Among them, Mark and Jenny looked at me with the most displeasure. Mark's gaze towards me was already extremely unfriendly. I understood that he felt if Evelyn was going to take a liking to someone in the company, it should be an elite like him. I had shattered his dream of pursuing Evelyn. As for Jenny, she sensed a huge crisis. A crisis where I would succeed and she would become a clown. She cornered me in the elevator and mocked coldly. I didn't realize you had this ability, Jake. What ability? I don't even know what you're talking about. Stop pretending. I didn't expect you'd go so far as to seduce the CEO just to climb the ladder. I coldly retorted. First of all, things between the CEO and me are innocent. Secondly, you cheated on me with Mark to climb the ladder yourself. What right do you have to criticize me? Jenny was furious with embarrassment. Jake, don't think that just because you've hooked up with the CEO, you can turn from a nobody into somebody. Let me tell you, rich second generations like CEO Chun are just having a passing fancy. When she gets bored of you one day, she'll dump you. I continued to retort. How do you know Mark isn't just having a passing fancy? Won't a scumbag like him dump you too? It's different between us. Mark truly loves me. Oh, really? Then how come I saw Mark trying to confess to CEO Chun? He even booked a candlelit dinner, but got scolded and left embarrassed? What did you say? Jenny's face changed. Impossible. Absolutely impossible. Go ask him yourself. I shrugged. Also, I'm warning you. Watch your mouth in the future. If you say anything more about seducing or hooking up, I won't let you off easy. Jenny screamed. Jake, who do you think you are? You won't let me off easy. You're just the deputy manager of the sales department. Mark is still the HR manager, one level above you. Just try and touch me. Mark won't let you get away with it. Don't think CEO Chun will offend the company's senior management for your sake. Just as she finished speaking, a cool voice came from behind. So what if I offend them? Ah, CEO Chun. Seeing Evelyn appear behind her, Jenny was instantly at a loss for words. Whoever annoys me, no matter what position they hold, will be fired immediately. After saying that, Evelyn specially added, the same goes for anyone who annoys Jake. Jenny's face turned bright red. She lowered her head without saying a word and quickly ran away. Who was that? Evelyn asked me. My ex-girlfriend, a horrible woman. She and Mark from HR cheated on me together. I told her honestly. Oh, so how do you feel about her now? I don't care about her now. She's not worth it. But she keeps coming to provoke me. I really don't understand what she's thinking. Oh. Evelyn made a sound, lost in thought. She looked at Jenny's retreating figure with a sharp gaze in her eyes. To dispel the rumors, I threw myself into work. That evening, after entertaining a client to the point of nearly throwing up, I finally secured a big customer. But this client was very busy and only had time to sign the contract on Sunday. And he also required the company's CEO to be present in person when signing the contract. I had no choice but to agree first. When I got home in a daze, I was still thinking about whether Evelyn would be free to sign the contract on Sunday. So I took out my phone and sent her a message. Are you free this Sunday? Evelyn quickly replied. You naughty boy. How shameless. Shame. Shameless. Why would she call me shameless? I shook my fuzzy head. Oh no, she must have misunderstood my meaning. I was about to explain when Evelyn sent another message. You want it this week? Then I'll come to your place now. It's over. She completely misunderstood. My brain, which was already not working well, instantly crashed. I'm too tired. Let it all go to hell. I collapsed onto the sofa and passed out. The next day was Saturday. When I woke up and saw dozens of unread messages on my phone, I instantly went numb. Jake, where do you live? Send me your location. Why aren't you replying to my messages? Jake, what exactly do you mean? You're not just messing with me, are you? Jake, I like you. I like you. I like you. I want to be with you. I was really stumped. I never imagined Evelyn would misunderstand. The key is that after misunderstanding, she didn't refuse, which means she doesn't mind. My mind was in complete chaos. Rationally speaking, I felt that Evelyn and I wouldn't work out. We were from completely different worlds. The gap was too big. But emotionally, I was cursing myself in my heart. Jake, what are you pretending for? A girl like her, even though she misunderstood your meaning, she didn't refuse. Isn't that enough to make things clear? Evelyn really has fallen for you. What are you afraid of? You coward. I pinched my thigh hard and decided to explain things clearly to Evelyn first. Whether I accept her or not, I can't let her misunderstand me as that kind of person. What, are you free this Sunday? It was clearly, are you free this Sunday? I called Evelyn and explained the situation. Evelyn, I drank too much last night trying to secure this big client. To be honest, I don't even know how I got home. When I messaged you, I just wanted to ask if you had time tomorrow to sign the contract. On the other end of the phone, Evelyn couldn't hide her disappointment. Oh, so that's what happened. I was stunned. Wow, why is she disappointed? But soon after, she laughed. You were in that state, but still remembered to ask me about signing the contract on Sunday. Not bad, I didn't misjudge you. That dedicated work ethic deserves praise. Hearing her laugh, I also relaxed a lot. I even started joking with her. That's right, this is a big client. What reward is the company planning to give me this time? Evelyn replied almost without hesitation. How about I give myself to you as a reward? Ah, both ends of the phone fell silent. I was at a loss for how to answer after being asked like that. And Evelyn didn't say anything either, waiting for my answer. Finally, I made up my mind. I can't keep running away. No matter what happens in the future, I should respond enthusiastically to her now. That's right. Who cares what happens later? The most important thing is to have loved. All right? I'll take you as my reward. No backing out. I finally gave myself an answer. The next day, Sunday, the contract was signed smoothly. Evelyn and I also officially got together. It was truly a double celebration. She was very happy, linking arms with me as we walked down the street in the bright sunlight, as if wanting to announce it to the whole world. As we were walking, we ran into Mark and Jenny. They were laughing and talking, looking like a lovey-dovey couple. It seems that although I had told Jenny about Mark trying to pursue Evelyn, it hadn't affected their relationship. No wonder. Jenny being with Mark was purely for benefits in the first place. As long as Mark was still the HR manager, Jenny wouldn't break things off with him. In this regard, that horrible woman was quite clear-headed. She needed Mark's help to climb the ladder in the company. But when Mark saw me and Evelyn, he immediately let go of Jenny's hand. Even though Evelyn was holding my arm, even though Evelyn had clearly told Mark before that he was a toad lusting after Swan's flesh. But Mark was still hoping against hope. He didn't want Evelyn to know about his relationship with Jenny. Jenny's face looked very unpleasant. I wasn't sure if it was because she saw me and Evelyn, or because Mark had let go of her hand. In any case, she looked very displeased. Mark came forward to greet us. What a coincidence, CO, Chun. After saying that, he glanced at me sideways. Jake, you're here too? Evelyn held my arm tighter. Manager Lee, are you and Jenny dating? Oh, no, don't misunderstand. Mark hurriedly explained. We're just out shopping together. Jenny stood behind, her face extremely unpleasant by now. What a coincidence, I'm out shopping with Jake too. After saying that, Evelyn smiled and said, but Jake and I are dating. Ah, congratulations, Mark said awkwardly. The look he gave me was extremely complex. I could see resentment and a hint of viciousness in it. That look clearly said, Jake, I could steal your girlfriend once, I can do it again. Just you wait. Faced with such an unfriendly gaze, I didn't hold back either. I said to Mark directly, I really don't like you as a person. Oh? Mark didn't expect me to say that, and was at a loss for how to respond. Evelyn spoke up imperiously. Manager Lee, did you hear that? I don't care what grudges you had before, but I hope you won't annoy Jake in the future. Otherwise, there will no longer be a place for you in the company. Mark broke out in a cold sweat. Understood. I gave him a cold smile and walked away with Evelyn. As we passed by Jenny, Evelyn's piercing gaze swept over her. After we had walked far enough, I smiled at Evelyn. Thank you for defending me like that. Evelyn proudly pursed her lips. Of course I have to spoil my man. Whoever dares to mess with you is messing with me. I'll make them die a miserable death. After saying that, Evelyn turned her head and shot another fierce look at Jenny. After Evelyn and I became a couple, the whole company found out. There were all kinds of rumors. I just laughed it all off. To prove that I wasn't just living off of her, I worked even harder. Within a month, I signed several big deals in a row, becoming the champion of the sales department. Evelyn transferred the original sales manager to another department, and I naturally progressed from deputy manager to manager. That day, Jenny suddenly came to the sales department. She actually took the initiative to shake hands with me. "Hello, Manager Lou." I didn't shake her hand, just asked coolly, "Is there something you need?" Jenny's eyes flashed with annoyance. "Starting today, I'll be joining the sales department." She took out a personnel transfer form and put it on my desk. I was very surprised. She used to work in HR, with Mark covering for her, living quite comfortably. Why would she suddenly decide to come work in sales? It's worth noting that the sales department has almost the highest performance pressure in the whole company. From what I know of Jenny, she wouldn't voluntarily take on more pressure. But I didn't ask her the reason. Instead, I leaned back in my chair and said coldly, "Mark is sending people to my department without even a heads up? What does he think this place is? The sales department only takes the most capable employees. We don't accept just any trash." Jenny smiled. "Jake, I know you hate me, but I'm not trash. If you could become the company's top salesperson, I'm sure I can do it too." She didn't even get angry. If this was before, she would have flown into a rage when I called her trash. This further confirmed my suspicions. This horrible woman coming to the sales department definitely wasn't that simple. Since I don't know what scheme they're plotting, it might as well keep her close by, right under my nose. I don't believe she can stir up any waves. When Evelyn came to bring me barbecue, she saw Jenny at her desk in the sales department. She frowned. "Jake, you brought her here?" "No." I shook my head. "It was a transfer from HR." Evelyn got a bit angry. "Which bastard is so blind? Was it Mark? Does he not want his job anymore?" Then Evelyn looked at me. "HR transferred her here, and you just accepted? Tell me, are you thinking of getting back together with her?" I shook my head. "Evelyn, do you trust me?" Evelyn snorted. "I trust you on everything else, but I don't want to take risks on this kind of thing." I smiled. "The whole company is under your watch. What are you worried about? Besides, how could she compare to you? In my heart, there's no woman more beautiful than you in this world." Evelyn's face turned bright red. "You and your sweet talk." "Fine, let her stay here then. But I'm warning you in advance, she'd better not have any designs on you. Otherwise, I won't let her off easy." I smiled faintly to myself. If Jenny had designs on me, that would be fine. I'm more worried that she has other intentions. A month later, the company's overall sales performance declined. Although I worked very hard, I still couldn't stop this downward trend. I started to feel something wasn't right. Why were so many clients who had agreed to deals suddenly changing their minds and signing contracts with our competitors instead? Even some potential clients we hadn't approached yet had already signed with our competitors when we contacted them. There must be something fishy going on here. Evelyn was worried I was under too much pressure and came over to comfort me. "Darling, it's normal for performance to go up and down. Don't overwork yourself." I held her hand and smiled at her. But in my heart, I was thinking rapidly. The decline in performance started after Jenny came to the sales department. So can I conclude that this has something to do with her? No, I have to get to the bottom of this. The next day, I tossed Jenny a client list. "Jenny, contact the clients on this list and try to get them to sign contracts." Then I deliberately added, "These clients are very important. The transaction amounts will all be significant. If we can sign them, it will definitely turn around this month's performance. Plus, you just joined the sales department and don't have many resources. Giving you these high-quality potential clients can boost your individual performance. Make good use of this opportunity." Jenny smiled at me. "Thank you." But I could tell it was a fake smile. Her smile wasn't on her face, but in her eyes. It was a smile of having succeeded in her scheme. I turned and went up to the conference room, locking the door behind me. Then I took out several phones and laid them out on the conference table. That's right, the so-called client list I gave Jenny was all fake. The contact information on it corresponded to these phones in front of me. Sure enough, it wasn't long before the phone started ringing. When I answered, the voice wasn't Jenny's. It was another unfamiliar voice. "Hello, Mr. Sue. This is a sales manager from Beanjo Group. Do you have time to chat?" Mr. Sue was the fake name I had put on the client list. and Binjo Group was our biggest competitor. I laughed coldly to myself. Sure enough, as soon as I gave Jenny the client list, it flowed to our competitors. Mr. Sue, our company's product pricing is more cost-effective. Would you like to consider it? I made some perfunctory responses, saying I was busy now and would contact them later, then hung up. Not long after, the second phone rang. Hello, Mr. Son, this is a sales manager from Binjo Group. Do you have time to chat? I didn't say anything and just hung up. That sales manager sent me a text. Sorry, you may be in a meeting? I'll contact you again later. Wishing you all the best. I just finished reading the text when the third phone rang. Hello, Mr. Wong. This is a sales manager from Binjo Group. Do you have time to chat? And so on. All the phones corresponding to the fake information I gave Jenny were called one by one. I let out a long sigh. Now, the truth was clear. Jenny was actually stealing the company's client information and sending it to our competitors. No wonder she voluntarily came to the sales department. It's because only the sales department has access to this information. But what was she doing it for? Money? Was Mark involved in this? With these questions in mind, I walked towards Evelyn's CEO office. After I explained everything, Evelyn wasn't as angry as I had imagined, but rather seemed excited. Great. I've been wanting to deal with her for a long time, but I didn't have an excuse. She's delivered herself to my doorstep, so she can't blame me now. I was stunned. She'd been wanting to deal with her for a long time. So you've disliked Jenny for a while now, huh? Of course. She dared to cheat on my man. She's asking for death. Jenny was at her desk, about to leave work, when people from the legal department rushed in. Miss Jenny, you can't leave now. You're suspected of stealing our company's important client information, causing huge economic losses to our company. We've already called the police. Please wait here for them to arrive. Jenny visibly panicked. You're spouting nonsense. How can you accuse me of stealing client information? Based on this, Evelyn walked in and slammed the fake client list on the table. This list is the same as the one Jay gave you, right? What a coincidence that right after it was given to you, Binjo Group got all the information on this list. Jenny panicked even more but still tried to argue. You collect information on these potential clients daily. Who says Binjo Group doesn't do the same? How can you say they got the information from this list? I stepped forward and smiled coldly. It's very simple because this is a fake list. All the names on this list are fake. I made them up in 1 minute. These people don't exist at all. And all the contact information left is for phone numbers I just got yesterday. I'm the owner of all those numbers. You. Jenny's face turned ashen. Jake, you're despicable, you're scheming, you're shameless. I fell for your trap. She started screaming irrationally. Wow, what a piece of work. Her logic left everyone present dumbfounded. So she's the victim here? I looked at her and asked coldly, was this your idea alone? What were you after? Jenny, who had been crying, raised her head. What was I after? Jake, I hate you. You were just a nobody before. How dare you win Evelyn's favor and become the top salesperson and department manager? You being so successful makes me look like a joke for cheating on you. I was impressed by her logic. So basically, you just can't stand to see me doing well. That's right. I wanted to stop your momentum as top salesperson. If I gave all your clients to Binjo Group, you'd be finished. Not only would you lose your top salesperson title, Evelyn wouldn't think highly of you anymore. In short, I can't let you be more successful than me. Evelyn was almost laughing from anger. She linked her arm with mine. Jenny, let me tell you, even if Jake wasn't the top salesperson, he'd still be my man. I love him. No matter what he's like, I love him. Jenny cried. That's why I have to ruin him even more. I can't let him be more successful than me. Otherwise, I'll become a laughingstock. I sighed helplessly. Jenny, I know you couldn't have done this alone. Who else is involved? Tell the truth. There's no one else, just me. Jenny yelled at me fiercely. I smiled. It doesn't matter if you don't admit it. We'll sue Binjo Group 2 anyway. I want to see if they won't throw this mastermind under the bus to take all the responsibility themselves. And I know you're not covering for this person because you love them. You're deluding yourself, still hoping that if you protect them, they'll turn around and save you. But I can tell you, keep dreaming. After Jenny was taken away by the police, Evelyn acted swiftly and immediately called a meeting of the company's senior management. Even those who had gone home were called back. I'm giving you a chance to come clean. Who else was involved in this? No one said a word. But unsurprisingly, everyone's eyes turned to Mark. His ambiguous relationship with Jenny was almost public knowledge in the company. Evelyn smiled coldly. No one's admitting it? Fine, then we'll see you in court. She immediately had the legal department start drafting a lawsuit against Binjo Group and Jenny. Mark was lost in thought, his eyes full of panic. Manager Lee, why are you sweating so much? I smiled and asked him, oh, am I? Mark wiped his forehead. No, I'm not. I smiled again. Manager Lee, do you think Jenny will reveal who the mastermind is while she's in jail? You think there's a mastermind behind this? Surely not. Mark was sweating profusely now. I snorted. Who knows? I bet there definitely is. Even if Jenny doesn't talk, won't Binjo Group speak up once we're in court? The next day, Mark actually ran away. He didn't come to the company anymore, and his phone was unreachable. A thief crying thief. This was basically an admission that he was involved in the theft of information. But could he really escape? Soon, the police who received the report apprehended him. At the same time, they also found evidence of large sums of money transferred to him from Binjo Group. Evelyn and I went to the police station to see him and asked him why he did it. Was it for money? From a high and mighty social elite and big company manager to a prisoner now. Mark's mental state had collapsed. He yelled, it was for money, but not just that. He pointed at me. It's all your fault. Evelyn should have been mine. I'm so excellent. Why did she choose you instead? She even threatened me more than once because of you, saying she'd kick me out of the company. I had Jenny steal client information and sell it to Binjo Group all to get revenge on you. Jake, I hate you. Folks, I really had to laugh. First Jenny, now Mark. This pair who cheated on me actually turned around and hated me? Where can I even argue this logic? As for Evelyn, when she heard Mark's words, her face was full of disdain. You're delusional. Jake is 1,000 times, 10,000 times better than you. You can't even compare to his little toe. I warned you long ago not to mess with Jake. Now, you can go rot in jail with Jenny. In the end, Mark and Jenny both received their due punishment in court. Binjo Group also paid a huge price. They were found guilty of unfair competition practices. Not only did they have to compensate us for all our economic losses, they were also fined several times that amount. Within the company, with the troublemakers gone, I felt much more at ease working. Soon, I became the top salesperson again and brought the company's performance to #1 in the industry. Even the retired old CEO looked at me with new respect. It was the weekend again. Evelyn took the initiative to suggest we do what we love together. I panicked. What do you want to do? I want to be serious. Oh, come on, let's go hiking. At the foot of the mountain, she asked me to carry her up. Didn't you say before that you could carry me up the mountain, let alone down? It wasn't a problem at all. Of course, did you think I was bluffing? I picked her up on my back and started walking up the mountain step by step in the rising sunlight. When we reached the bushes from before, she suddenly smiled mysteriously. Jake, when you were removing thorns from me last time, did you have any naughty thoughts? Especially when removing them from my butt. I said very seriously, no, no. She grinned mischievously. Are you even a man? I grinned back. You want to know if I'm a man or not? I do. Then, are you free this Sunday? She hit me playfully with her little fist. I am.